go. First of all, I want to say do want to acknowledge what happened in Texas with the Uvalde shooting, the school shooting. I cannot imagine the pain that the parents went through, what everybody went through with that. It is terrible. I could not imagine not coming home, not going to school to pick up my daughters from school, finding out that they were shot and killed in school. It is horrific, probably the worst thing that could happen in a parent's life. But man, they gotta stop using this shit. There's a lot of conspiracy theories. A lot of them point out or speculate or theorize that the Democrats cause these issues in some way. Maybe they finance or convince the shooter to cause these political issues to push their narrative, which is sickening. But at this point, with the way that they try to approach these situations, first of all, some of these things are too specific to their narrative that is wide open out in there. They're trying to push the gun laws and then the white supremacy thing, trying to make every white person in America seem like they're racist or white supremacist. Every one of us, no matter what, we're inherently racist. It's bullshit, and it's cruel, and just to push your own political agenda for power. It's ridiculous. Next, with that being said, about it being specific to their narrative, they're making mistakes. I just saw this representative, I think it's Castro, Democrat representative from Texas, went on the news to make a statement about how Democrats consistently produce new legislation about gun reform laws, and it gets stopped in the Senate by Republicans because Republicans feel it's more important to them to protect the rights of gun owners than it is the lives of children. Shut the fuck up. Oh my God. That, first of all, I don't think any true American would ever feel that way, honestly. White, black, Hispanic, racist, not racist, whatever. To take a life of a child, you're going to need more than gun reform to try to fix that issue. Speaking of gun reform, to my knowledge, please correct me if I'm wrong, but you have to be 21 years old to purchase a pistol. I'm pretty sure that's very common. I know there's different gun laws in different places. I'm pretty sure you have to be 21. Like I said, I could be wrong, but you have to be 21 years of age to legally purchase a firearm from a gun retailer. So how is changing gun laws that state you have to be 21 years of age to legally purchase a firearm, how is any type of gun law, let's just put it this way, how would that have affected this person's ability, this 18-year-old disgusting human being, from getting the firearm? How does that make sense? And these are our leaders that are saying this, and I honestly don't believe that they know this shit. They just want to push the narrative, and it's so bad because it's just one issue. These rights are in place for a reason. The rights, our founding fathers, they foresaw shit like this happening. They saw things like this potentially happening. That's why they've instilled. Well, you can't instill a God-given right, but they made that clear. We have the right to own guns, and it's for a purpose. When people misuse those, it's the same. It's similar to somebody misusing a vehicle. People driving around that aren't licensed. Go mess up, drink and drive, hit somebody, kill somebody, destroy property. It's the same thing. I mean, the people are going to break the law. that person, these people, however, whatever way that they're getting their firearms is not legal. Changing gun laws is not going to affect these outcomes at all. How is that something that is not being seen? You either have to be really fucking stupid, incompetent, or you're trying to deceive everybody to push a narrative, or a combination of any or all. He obtained a firearm illegally and then shot up a school. So let's change the gun laws to make sure that people that are doing these mass shootings with illegally obtained firearms can't get firearms? What? You fucking stupid. What school did you go to? Have you ever even held a firearm? You know what? Same thing with you don't have a uterus. You can't make a decision about women's bodies. I don't want to get into that. I'm kind of pro-choice. A woman's, there are so many different situations. I don't agree with it. That's my opinion, but I'm not going to force my opinion on anybody. That's, I won't be in that situation. It would be hard for me I would never try to instill a law that had nothing to do with me. If I find it morally or ethically wrong, that's me. I have the right to have my own opinions. Everybody does. That was the whole idea of freedom and First Amendment, all that jazz, all that good stuff. Part of that is the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. Okay, so you trying to put a whole political party and everybody that is affiliated with that party or supports that party or whatever to paint a picture of all of those people as people that love guns more than kids are fucked up. Dude, so fucking wrong. It's frustrating, okay? And they're using these incidences to push their own narrative, whether the conspiracy theories are true, whether they're causing these mass shootings by whatever means necessary. Maybe they're bribing them, paying them, or maybe they're just fucking crazy people that are doing really dumb things. And a lot of that, I feel heavily that a lot of these people are doing this to get on the news, to be infamous in a way, in a bad way, but I don't see any motive. Can you, and that's me. I can't understand the thoughts of somebody shooting a kid on purpose. Not just once, but 10, 14 times, however many times. It is sick. A type of individual like that getting the firearm, yeah, it's such an impossible situation. Okay, I'm not sure if it's true. I think he killed the person he was staying with, his grandmother or something, I think. Not sure. I just was listening to all this. It's so fucking stupid. These people don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and they're the ones making the laws on this shit. It doesn't make any sense to me, okay? So, again, obviously that representative of Texas, Democratic Representative Castro, makes a statement about how he can't understand or believe that so many of these mass shootings and all these bad things are happening, yet nobody's doing anything about gun reform laws. Okay. He didn't get the firearm legally. That's a non-issue. That has nothing to do. Right then and there, immediately, that cuts out any solution involving gun control laws. He already obtained it illegally. to commit a crime. He doesn't give a shit about gun control laws. He's going to break the law to obtain a firearm anyways. That's twice that you're a dumbass, Castro. What the fuck? Dude. Like, how does that make any sense? And then you bash an entire political party for defending what so many of us believe and hold true, our God-given right to keep and bear arms. They're defending our rights as human beings for that right, okay? And you want to bash them, put them in a negative spotlight, make them seem like a piece of crap, okay? A whole white supremacist-led, completely racist party that cares about guns and not kids. How? Oh man, weapons of war. Okay, so I fully understand pistols are used in war. I want to say I don't feel that's a great classification for a semi-automatic pistol, okay, as a weapon of war. All right, why put that in that category? Again, only to push a narrative. You want to classify a weapon in a category that it's not a part of to try to push your own ideas and agenda. It doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. And I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that said shit like this. I want to fucking say it. Oh my God. It's oh my goodness. Nobody's going to solve this issue by fixing problems that weren't a problem in that issue. I'm trying to come up with many different ways for someone who thinks like a Democrat to process, if you even care. I honestly believe your agenda is more motivated in stripping the rights of people, using a tragic event like this to make it seem like you're right. You're not right. You sound... I get it. You're in a respectable position. You're probably somehow highly educated from a reputable institution or school, college, university, whatever. But how do you go through all of that tutoring and instruction, all these classes, gaining all of this knowledge and still be so fucking stupid? So stupid. All right? Again, if I'm wrong, let me know. I don't really care. It's not about that. It's about people using a tragedy to push an agenda only to obtain more power and more control. Okay? If every single gun in the world could be instantly destroyed, okay, and it would stop, let's just say we knew for a fact it would stop every single mass shooting, every act of genocide, all over the entire planet, I could go for that. That's my opinion. I love my gun. I have lots of guns. I use them in a very safe manner. I'm highly trained. I have a lot of different credentials. I'm not just a security officer. I do this to make additional money. But I'm an NRA certified pistol instructor. I've had my G license. It allows me to carry a firearm while working in the state of Florida. I've never had a gun-related issue. I did fugitive recovery in the state of Florida. Never discharged a firearm. Always had one on me. Never used one. Had a gun pulled on me. Didn't even pull my gun. I was able to disarm the person. Not a big advocate of shooting people. That's not a thing for me. I don't like it. I would never want to do it on purpose. Honestly, that type of violence is very cruel and disgusting. You know, some people are for it. I've in the military, unfortunately, I've had to do things, but I wouldn't. I would hate to shoot somebody in various different situations. I don't see anything really in any situation where I would be okay with that, even if I was justified. I don't like the idea. Again, that's my feeling. That's how I feel. I like shooting targets. I like training other people how to shoot. I know my weapons. I know as much of the laws that I need to know. Obviously, not every single law ever established about guns I don't know off the top of my head. It's understandable or reasonable. But you, sir, or you make legislation, you write legislation, you propose it, you vote for it on behalf of your the people that you represent. You don't know a fucking thing about guns. The semi-automatic pistol as a weapon of war. You're a fucking idiot preaching to idiots to push an agenda using a tragedy of loss of life of almost a dozen or over a dozen children. You're sick. It's stupid, okay? I mean, it is so it's such a heartbreaking thing to hear. It's disgusting. It's really sad. I'm trying not to think about it because it's unthinkable to me. It's disgusting. It's sad. It's so very sad. But to use that to gain power over people by stripping them of their rights, that's fucking wrong. Know your shit before you're gonna start talking about it. Again, I made this video on the understanding that you have to be 18 years of age to legally purchase a firearm. I'm sorry, 21 years of age to legally purchase a firearm. Okay. We're already starting out this story at an 18-year-old. That's the start of it. An 18-year-old took a firearm, went into a school, shot a bunch of people. I think beforehand he killed one of his relatives or his family member. I think his grandma. I'm not sure. I'm going to check on that. But probably where he obtained the firearm. So is it grandma's fault? Let's blame grandma because that's the democratic thing to do. Let's blame someone or something that had nothing to do with the fucking situation. And what I mean by that is the gun laws. Okay, again, I'm going to say it again. How many fucking times can you say it? You have to be 21 years of age to legally purchase a firearm. Changing that fact, let's make it 35. 35 years of age. You can't legally purchase a firearm unless you are 35 years of age. Okay? That fucking guy still would have got the pistol. How? Where does changing the laws make sense? Unless you got rid of all guns in America, which is probably what they're trying to go for. The only people that they want to possess firearms, I feel, is probably the military, probably not even police, to be honest, and their own personal private security who are armed with weapons a lot more lethal. I don't know. Lethal is lethal, but more warlike. Let's say that. More warlike, because that's your favorite fucking term, you piece of shit. Than, what they're trying to take away from people. So, again, first one, another 18-year-old white supremacist person shoots up a market in New York. I looked into New York. I thought it was a beautiful state. I was talking to a family member there. I carry with me all the time. I carried into New York. That's a no-no. Found that out. This was a long time ago. And he started going over the gun laws with me there. He's like, yeah, man, you can't have a concealed weapon. You can't have it in your car. You can't have it in your home. Like the sentence is like 5 years per magazine that you have, and 10 years for every firearm. Like crazy shit. Like, oh, well, apply for a concealed weapons license. I did that 5 years ago. I'm still waiting to get approval. So, from my understanding, I'm going to say this again. My understanding is, in New York, you have to have all this documentation, and only a few people are allowed to get this, like a concealed weapons license. In the state of New York, mostly retired police officers. Even that's difficult. And what they do is, not to infringe on your right to keep and bear arms, they allow you the opportunity to apply for licensure. From how it seems is they make the process extremely difficult. They make it very lengthy. There's no quick response. This isn't going to be done within a year. From my understanding, again, like I'm saying, from my understanding, not going to be done within a year. And they will most likely deny your application and allow you the opportunity to reapply for whatever reason. So basically, it's just a formality for them to say, no, we're not giving you your license. So already in New York, you can't legally purchase a firearm, again, from what I understand. If you can't get licensed to carry, you're not allowed to carry in your car, in your home, on your person. Don't see how you can legally purchase a firearm anywhere. Doesn't make sense. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't care. Again, I'm saying it is extremely difficult. They have the hardest and most strict gun laws in the state, in the country, and along with Chicago, some of the places where they have the most gun-related crime have the most strict gun laws. That alone should tell you something. Another one is, how did another person in another state commit another mass shooting at 18 years of age, and gun reform laws are going to fix it? A lot of people know where I'm coming from with this. A lot of people feel the same way. A lot of people are so fucking stupid that they agree with these idiots that are preaching this bullshit on the news about we need gun reform laws. I can't think off the top of my head anything witty to say to come up with another clever analogy to help you understand. But you fucked up if you did cause this. You fucked up if you're using this to push this narrative because it doesn't fit. You think it fits because you're not educated on the topic. Not saying you're dumb. I feel like you're a dumbass, but let's just say, just to be nice, I'm not going to call you a dumbass. I'm just going to chalk that up to being ignorant on the topic, not educated or well educated on the topic and the laws of that topic. I'm not an expert either. I'm really not. There's a lot of things I don't know. There's a lot of things I'm still learning. I've been in this industry for 10 years. I'm still learning new things, and things are evolving and ever changing. They always are. Everything always changes, and you have to adapt and learn. Technology, people, social structures, your environment, everything's always changing. You have to keep learning all throughout your life. It's a phase. You get to a point where you get to an age where, you can't really adapt or change your ways in a way that is effective to highly function in society. If you're not able to take in new knowledge, to be able to adapt to different ways, or not willing to adapt to different ways, that's different. But you called a pistol, semi-automatic pistol, a weapon of war. You want gun reform laws to prevent mass shootings that are happening by 18-year-olds who are already obtaining firearms illegally. A gun reform law is not going to fix. It's not. How do you think that's gonna be a good idea? Why do you think that's a good idea? Where did you come up with this conclusion? In your critical thinking, in your problem solving capabilities, and your ideas, where did you come up with this conclusion? Please explain it to me, because my fucking head is hurting, because I can't understand how stupid you are. Like, I honestly don't get it. FYI, I did not kill myself. If something happens, I didn't kill myself. Let's just put that out there in case Hillary's watching. So, I've been saying, none of this makes sense. This will never make it to an algorithm where it reaches many people, or any people at all. Just the way that they try to take that right from you too, the First Amendment. And if you're not talking about what they want you talking about, and that's the narrative. That's their agenda, right there. Slowly, piece by piece, start taking away your rights, little by little. Okay, and it's not about the gun thing so much. It's about the idea that these are the people that make the laws. These are the people that enforce the laws. These are the people that are trying to take your rights away. And they're using it by using tragic events. And it's sad. It's disgusting. And what's even worse is there's so many people that believe it. I try to look at things mostly unbiasedly to make a better, more, educated, well-rounded, ethical conclusion on my own. Okay? I can stop and take a look at it. If somebody goes out there who legally purchased a Golf 240 and ended up killing 150 people. That should have never happened, for the fact that this person legally purchased a heavy machine gun and caused a genocide or a mass shooting at that scale with that type of powerful weapon. That's a weapon of war, to make that clear. Just for a little bit of knowledge for you, a weapon of war would be a weapon that's commonly used in fucking war. Okay? Yes, a semi-automatic is used in war, in combat. Yes, it is. So is an M4. Okay? So is an AK-47. So are ships. I'm going to say ships are weapons of war now too. Just doesn't make any sense. Okay? You use it in war. You use knives as well in war. As a weapon of war. Okay? We're going to take away all our fucking cutlery too? We're going to have plastic forks only? Oh no. We can't do that because of the oceans, right? No more plastic, because it's our fault that our government decides to dump fucking trash in the ocean. These are the things that, oh, shame on you. You're a piece of shit for using plastic straws, because they end up in the ocean and they kill wildlife. Who the fuck put it in the ocean? I didn't put it in the ocean. I put it in the trash, and my county came and picked it up, and then they ended up putting it in the ocean. I didn't do that. Yell at government. Government's not allowed to use straws anymore, folks. Let's do that. We're going to make a movement. Okay? Because that's going to fix pollution. That's another... It's just completely coming up with a solution that has nothing to do with the problem. How do we come up with this situation? Things need to change so much. And I'm not talking about gun control laws. I'm talking about the fucking idiots pushing these agendas. Couple of scenarios. One, they believe this shit. And that's scary, because if they really truly believe this, I feel bad. Because for one, they're really stupid on the topic, in the very least. They're fucking idiots. And they actually probably believe that they're trying to have positive change to save lives. Okay, I feel bad for them if that's the situation. These people are trying to be good, decent people, no matter their political affiliation. You know, a good person trying to do good things. It's hard to make them the bad guy. Okay. Flip side, if you're using these events to gain power over people, because that's exactly what it is, every step of the way. This is not a new thing. This is not the first tragedy that's been used to try to push this agenda to disarm America. And then they turn around, most ironic twist, and make the people that are trying to defend our rights seem like the evil ones. They only care about their guns. They don't care about small children's lives. I would flip the fuck out if I was one of those parents and somebody says some shit like that. It's so disgusting to be a part of a society that's media pushes these kind of ideas to try to force other people to think the way they want them to think, and they're so fucking dumb that they believe it. Take guns away from all law-abiding citizens. There will be no more gun-related crime. Not true. It's gonna fucking happen. It's gonna happen with guns. It's gonna happen with knives. It's gonna happen with hammers. Look up the FBI statistics on murder with hammers. Very high. Knives, same, very high. The UK took away almost all. They did pretty well with taking away all guns. Even most of their police force don't have weapons or guns, anyways. Sorry, but magically there's still gun-related crime and there's still murder. Granted, murders involving knives went up. Surprise, surprise. That taking away all the guns didn't stop murder. That shit's gonna happen. That's been happening throughout history before there were guns. That's gonna continue to happen. People are humans. Humans are flawed. They do shit. Taking away everybody's knives on top of taking away everybody's guns is what? They're gonna use hammers. They're gonna use screwdrivers. They're gonna make their own guns. I saw somebody saw this shit on the news. They called it what is it? A Smith & Wesson. And it was literally a pistol made from trash and garbage. It's soldered and welded together. The fucking thing fired a round. It was capable of firing a round. It was ridiculous. Look it up. Smith & Wesson. And, they created a weapon that was capable of shooting a projectile. You have bows and arrows before that. When is that going to become a thing again? If people want to commit a murder, they're going to commit a murder. Granted, I agree. It's a lot easier when you have a semi-automatic pistol, an AR-15, a shotgun. You have a whole bunch of rounds, and you're able and capable of reloading super fast to put as many rounds out as possible. Kind of easy. It is made easier with the type of weapons that we have today. However, it's not going to stop murder. Mass shootings, probably. But then again, you're talking about a scenario where you take all guns away from everybody, or at the very least the law-abiding citizens. It doesn't make any sense. These people that are committing these crimes are obtaining these weapons illegally. A lot of these mass shootings are happening from people obtaining weapons illegally. Again, over and over again. I'm repeating myself because I'm still trying to understand where this came from. How does changing the gun laws, making it harder for people to legally purchase a firearm, fix a situation where a crazy piece of shit person stole a firearm, he obtained it illegally. I don't know. Are they gonna, the next time Biden sends out his meth pipes for his for his followers and his voters, maybe we'll wrap around a little notification. Hey, by the way, it's illegal to kill people. Just let them know that it's illegal. Just to reinforce that. Hey, don't do mass shootings. Like, what? It doesn't make any sense. I can't understand it. For them to go on the news, potentially in front of hundreds of thousands or even millions of people, and say some stupid shit that doesn't make any sense to probably more than half of us, but does make sense to the other half, and I'm still trying to work that one out. People really aren't understanding this, and I think it's a lack of knowledge, honestly, because they're like, we shouldn't have laws where this 18-year-old could purchase a firearm and shoot up a school. That's not what happened. You want it to seem like that's what happened, but it's not even what happened. In the same video clip, you have somebody who said they got a firearm from their family member, killed their family member, went and killed a bunch of kids at a school, ended up getting killed. Another mass shooter. At what point did somebody legally purchase a firearm to commit a mass shooting? I don't get it. You guys need to wake up. Those of you that are on my level, there has to be something we could do. We cannot. There's no way this can happen. Like I said, don't get me wrong. It's not about the guns. It's about how easily such a massive group of people can be manipulated into believing bullshit. And then the other half is sitting there making videos like this, being like, oh, this doesn't make sense, guys. Come on, what are you talking about? Oh, you're just a racist redneck that owns a bunch of guns. You care more about the guns than the kids. Shut the fuck up. I want to say it's human nature to be cater to protect small children, whether you like them or not. I feel like it would be, a natural instinct. If you see a, small child in danger, you're immediately I feel, have the urge, the need, or the impulse to try to protect that child. And because of their innocence, because of their inability to defend themselves, I think it's just something like it's tuned in most of us. I want to believe that anyways. For someone to put a bullet in a child, that's a sick fucking person. You're so off topic trying to resolve these issues by attacking law-abiding gun owners. It takes a certain type of person. This person has no empathy at all, not a single shred of it in his body, which is a characteristic of the psychopath. These people have indicators. Many of them do. There are indicators that something's wrong, something's not right. It doesn't go from, I'm a normal person to bam, I just shot up a school. That doesn't happen. There are things along the lines, identifiers, as narrowing down certain psychological traits that will indicate a psychological problem. These are the things that are being overlooked, ignored, passed over, and when people say something, it doesn't happen. There was a mass shooting, the Columbine shooting. I did a research paper on that. 2 boys, 17 and 18. Can't remember their names off the top of my head. Both of them had many indications that there was something wrong with them. One of them had a video blog. The other guy, both of them with psychological traits of criminality. Both of them different, however. One was more afflicted with depression and had sick thoughts of torture, rape, and cannibalism. He expressed interest in these in a journal. The other one, again, lack of interest, lack of empathy, a real high interest in physical violence, mostly gun related. These people, they made a lot of videos about killing. Granted, that could be misinterpreted, and maybe they like action movies. I could see how that would happen. But the one that was into most of these films had a lot of problems. He wrote on a blog on AOL.com. That's how long ago this was. Expressing the need to, or the want to kill people, to shoot them, to hurt them. They identified how he's easily triggered into violence over little tiny minuscule things. They posted all of these videos. They actually manipulated somebody into purchasing firearms for them. I do believe they got in trouble for that. They did start to get in trouble. They tried to rob a van. They were trying to take the audio-visual crap out of it. Camcorders, cameras, other techie equipment. They got busted. One of them both of them highly intelligent. Both of them people identified as having problems. They did mention it. There was an altercation where one of the students actually felt threatened. He got scared. Okay, these two guys, they both had different psychological issues, but they bonded together. They worked very well. They're in their dyad. The depressed guy, very early on, you could tell through his journals, through all the stuff that was published later on, you could tell he wanted to end his life. He was on that track. Okay, this other guy, he kind of clashed with. They came together. They became a little power couple there. I know it's widely believed that that was a means to his end. The partnering up with this other guy who had all of these crazy creative ideas on killing. So what ended up happening is that kid reported altercation, told his parents, "Hey, look, I'm scared of this dude. Check out his video on his blog online." Unfortunately, it made it all the way up to a warrant being published for the home, the residence, and the computer of that individual. Probably would have stopped, or at the very least delayed, that action of the Columbine shooting. Okay, so there was indicators. They were there. Students noticed it, teachers noticed it, law enforcement noticed it. At that particular time, I believe it was a serial killer in that same place, unrelated, overshadowed all investigations at that time, where that warrant actually was lost. It was written, it was published, it was put on a judge's desk. Judge never saw it. There was a priority of the investigation of a murderer in that area that took priority over everything. This was overlooked. Again, there are indicators. There are indicators all over the place. These kids probably needed help. Whether they were able to get it or not, unknown. Even if they tried, even knowing if they tried to get help, who knows? But again, there were indicators, okay? That's where the problem needs to start getting fixed before the shooting. Not at them imaginarily purchasing firearms underage against the law. I don't get it. I don't understand. Columbine shooting. This kid was so crazy and even planned this out right out in the open. He sat in the cafeteria. He was writing notes. He was, he made it down to the minute every single day for a month of exactly when the cafeteria reached its highest volume of students, the maximum amount of students on a daily basis, on a daily average. He knew the exact minute that at that minute is the same every single day that there are the most amount of students in the cafeteria. I believe it was the day before, they planted explosive devices all over the cafeteria. The general idea, the idea in the beginning, and these were timed. He made the devices, he made the timers, he improvised the explosive device. It was supposed to go off at a certain time. They were in the parking lot. Their idea was bombs go off, kills as many people as possible. They're going to run out of the exit. They're there waiting with a bunch of guns. They're going to mow everybody down. That was the plan. Didn't happen that way. They adjusted, they adapted to the situation. Bombs never went off. I think they entered the school 5 minutes after they believed the bomb should have gone off. Started unloading in the cafeteria. They made it their way through the hallways and eventually into the library, where they killed the most amount of students. I believe it was 10 people. Anyways, terrible story. They ended up going to the second floor. EMS was trying to pull injured students out while they're firing rounds. These brave people were literally being showered with rounds and still running in there to grab injured children. One of which was a kid who was shot in the back. He fell in the doorway, keeping the door ajar. It was shot through his backpack, I believe. It paralyzed him temporarily. For a while, he was paralyzed. The paramedics, everybody saw he was alive. They desperately tried to save his life, and they did. And nobody else was injured, thank God. And then they went upstairs, and they were like, and this is a control thing. They went upstairs. They agreed to off themselves, kill each other. Okay? Fucked up story. Really fucked up. What do both of these stories have in common? What do most of these mass shootings have in common? One, illegally purchased or obtained firearms. So, right out the door, gun control laws, gun reform laws, not going to affect shit. It's not going to do a damn thing except strip the rights of people who obey the law and don't go around shooting everybody. Those are the only people that are going to affect. It's going to help criminals. It's going to help criminals rob people that used to own guns, because now they got fucking guns because they don't care, and they're going to shoot you, take your shit. Okay? Now we have no way to shoot back. We have no way to defend ourselves against a person with a gun, which is the whole purpose of a firearm, self-defense. Other weapons obviously used for hunting. Some of them used for specifically target shooting. There's a lot of different guns out there for a lot of different reasons. Don't think mass shootings of schools was in any of the specs for the manufacturers building the guns. Pretty sure that wasn't a thing. So it's not the gun's fault. It's not the law's fault. It's not the kids' fault, as much as Democrats want to blame, for some reason, children. Just use the children as a reason why we need to strip the rights of everybody else that's following the law, because that makes sense, right? And I know, because of my research, though the Columbine shooting, there were so many identifiers of something. There was something seriously wrong with these two kids. Seriously wrong. Everything that happened in between, there had to have been indicators. You don't just be a normal human being and then go to, I'm going to shoot a bunch of kids in the face. There's no way that happened. Okay? Somebody knew something. Somebody knew that person was fucked up and never did anything about it. Okay? That's the fucking person that you need to change. A dumbass, stupid fucking people reform. That's what we need. I dare you. Have your fucking Ministry of Truth fucking fact check me. Okay? Doesn't make any sense. Changing gun laws to prevent people from obtaining firearms that are shooting up schools when the person that shot up the school illegally obtained the firearm. Not gonna work. Ministry of Truth, go. Oh wait, let's see what you come up with. Fact or fiction? Am I gonna go to jail? Am I gonna suicide myself? Who knows? But fuck it. Like, there's no possible way in the next 5 to 10 years that something terrible isn't gonna happen to the entire country. Massive civil war. I don't fucking know. Revolution. Something's gonna happen. The best that we can do is to try to educate other people. Very hard with certain liberals and Democrats. You try to tell them anything else that they have heard or believe, even if it's true, even if it's common sense or shit, even if it makes more sense than anything that's ever come out of their mouth. You're a stupid racist. They're not going to change their thoughts. They're not open to the idea that you could be wrong. I'm open to the idea that I'm wrong. About the 18-year-old thing, I feel pretty strongly about that. You have to be 21. If I'm wrong, tell me. I can admit I'm wrong. Thank you for educating me. I could say that. Thank you. You took the time. You went out of your way to let me know I'm wrong, and you let me know what's right. You just gave me a little bit of knowledge, education. You taught me something, okay? And they don't work that way. I've seen it. I've tried to debate with them before. It's literally like talking to a fucking rock, like a stupid rock, like normal rock level, normal rock intelligence level, and you have liberal rock intelligence level. Like, you just fucking can't change them. You can't. You can make all of the sense in the world and they will rebut with something insulting. You're an idiot, you're a bitch, you're a Nazi, you're a fascist. God, you're a racist. And that's their explanation. That's how they justify their beliefs. That's how they let you know the facts of why they're right. Not with facts, but with insults to you. That's how they fix problems. This is only about control and democratic power. It's already started with the election where there's just too much evidence. Too much evidence that this election was fucked up. I don't really care what you say about that. There's no way. There's so much evidence. You can't ignore facts if you want to have a well-informed, intelligent decision. You can't see that all of this is going wrong. Vaccines, for example. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but guess what? You start seeing in the news, in 2 months, a new vaccine comes out for COVID. 5 people die. 115 people have fucking strokes. Another 10,000 people have fucking blood clots, okay? Right after or directly involving the vaccine. Okay? So you could randomly die. You could randomly have a stroke. Or you could get blood clots and have, heart and breathing problems your entire fucking life. Or else you'll get COVID, which you have a 99.9994%, I think, chance of surviving. I just had COVID last week. It sucked. not worth risking getting an injection of an experimental vaccine that could potentially have me drop dead the next day, have a stroke and fuck me up half my body for the rest of my life, or have blood clots and have breathing and heart problems my entire life, instead of just getting COVID once and then building up a natural immunity. Not an anti-vaxxer. I'm just looking at all the facts. Bam. If I get COVID, I have a 99.99 whatever % chance of survival. Okay? There is no true statistic yet of the chances that I take the vaccine and drop dead. There's no number for that. But supposedly it happened. Whether it did or didn't, people are thinking it did. People are directly relating their medical issues such as stroke, the blood clots, breathing problems, things shaking. There was one of them. There's so many of them. So many different side effects that have been happening to people. Why would I risk that? I don't have the true factual statistics to make an informed decision. Therefore, I'm going to keep to what I think is best for me, which would be not to take an experimental fucking drug that could possibly kill me that day or the next day or shortly after. Okay? I'm not going to risk that. I have a greater chance of surviving COVID than I do of randomly fucking dying from a vaccine. Okay? I'm not against vaccines. All my kids are vaccinated. I am vaccinated, except for fucking COVID. Because I don't trust that shit. I don't. That's my belief. I could be wrong. I could be right. Who knows? I do know I never got the vaccine. I did get COVID, and I survived. It sucked. So does the flu. So does the cold. So does pneumonia. Still, I was big on getting the flu shot too. I still got the flu all the time. The flu sucks. I think the flu was probably, I don't want to say I felt like the flu was worse than COVID. And I had really bad symptoms, worse than I thought I would ever imagined I would get. But it's just messed up. Everything is messed up. And it's so much about control. Every single aspect of it. They're trying to control the speech. They're trying to control your right to bear arms. They're trying to control what you put into your body. And then they bash everybody for trying to tell you what you can do to your body. It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, trying to take away freedom of speech, trying to take away right to bear arms. This is slowly, systematically taking away all of our rights. Roe versus Wade thing. This is fucking trifecta. Oh, why not? Let's go for that too. Let's go for all of it. And we're just gonna fucking Nazi the shit out of this country and almost mimic their exact policies and what they've done in history. Take away people's guns, censorship, take away their fucking rights to, you can't say certain things. They take a certain group of people and make them seem disgusting and wrong and evil, and we should just get rid of them all, kill them all. Those are the Republicans. Democrats, fucking Nazis, okay? They're trying to push us all aside, say, they're gross, they're wrong, they're bad. They need to be identified as, evil people, when really they're the ones protecting all of your rights. Your rights to, have a penis and walk around telling everybody you're a female. Okay, that's fine. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care about your lifestyle. Unless it affects me. Don't be like trying to sit on my lap telling me you're a lady and then I feel your pee-pee fucking rubbing up against my damn leg. And like, okay, now I'm involved. Now I care. Don't want it. Bye. Not homophobic. Don't really care. I just don't want a pee-pee that's not mine on my leg. Makes sense, right? If I don't want it on me, that's the whole consensual thing, But still, Somebody wake the fuck up. Get these people. Please understand. 18-year-old mass shooter. Let's change. Let's make gun reform laws. It doesn't make sense, and people are believing this. And if you're believing it, you're fucking stupid. Like, I don't care. I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I'm not stupid enough to believe that fucking bullshit when it's shoved down my throat. Okay? Like, wake the fuck up. Like, there's too many people in America that feel the same way that I do, that are trying to protect people. Even the dumbasses we don't agree with, we still respect your right to have your basic human rights, your God-given rights, and your constitutional rights. No matter how much we disagree with you or dislike you or think you're, some of us think you're sick. Some of us don't care. Honestly, they're still the greatest advocates of protecting your own human rights. And you're so against us because of what you're told. What you're told to do. You're told to hate us. You're told to think we're deplorables. You're told to make us think. All these people talking about it, rounding up all the unvaxxers. That was a bold statement from that senator. Holy shit. Stated we're dirty and disgusting, and that we should round all of us up and put us in concentration camps. What a grand idea. Try it. Just try it. Why didn't it happen? I can tell you why it happened. I can tell you why it didn't go down the way it went down in Australia. And still, that didn't even work. That fucking regime fell. Trying to control your people like that, they didn't have guns. I'm pretty sure they did something similar, taking away the guns. Did a gun buyback program, all that bullshit. Come and get us. Come and put us in concentration camps. See how that works. As we know in history, what America did to the Nazis, don't think we're going to have a different effect with that. A different outcome. So, you want to keep up with your Nazi shit, you're going to get some Nazi fucking history. Okay? Just to let you know, they didn't win. Trying to oppress the people, as the Democrats do, it's not something that typically is successful. Some places is successful. In Australia, they convinced the whole fucking country to turn in their guns, and they did it. Guess what? Now you're in one bad pandemic, and now your life is no longer yours. You do exactly what the government tells you. You have to ask permission to leave your fucking house to go shopping to get food for yourself. Whoo! That is crazy. That's not going to happen here. Too many law-abiding people, too many highly trained people with knowledge of guns and possession of firearms with the intent to, uphold the Constitution, defend the Constitution, defend America against tyrants. Because I saw this shit happening again, and guess what? It's happening again. It's just happening more slowly, history you have to see, when you read it in a book, it happens real fast. It's the next page. You start the war, you flip the page again, the war's over. Okay? This is like years. This will go on for years and slowly just start eating away your rights. Mostly they only have to be successful once. Take away your gun rights. All right. Now, what else can we go for? What else can we take away to take away more rights from people, have more control over them? Because that's one thing that stands in our way of our ability to keep our rights. It sounds ridiculous to say, but first thing to go, and the first thing that would always have to go, is guns. Okay? And they can't force their fucking regime and their Nazi ideology onto a massive, large society without opposition if their opposition is armed. Okay? If every gun owner in America was a soldier, we'd be like one of the one of the biggest fucking armies ever. Okay, it's crazy. It's thinking. I'm exaggerating a little bit, obviously, but holy fuck! Well, one mass shooting, another mass shooting. I don't even know they're calling the guy a white supremacist. I don't know where they got these facts from. Maybe, Nazi tattoos and shit. I don't know. Maybe he wrote a journal talking about killing all Spanish people or killing all black people. I don't know. I haven't seen too much into that. But again, white supremacists. Everybody's a white supremacist. One of the people did a mass shooting with Spanish, but he was a white supremacist. It doesn't make any sense, and it's so blatantly obvious that they're manipulating facts to make it seem like white supremacy or white supremacists just like all over the place, running rampant. Like there's a bunch of like every single white person in certain time of the month goes out and meets and comes up with their white supremacy plans for the world. Like that doesn't happen, I'm pretty sure. If it does, I don't get the memo. I don't attend those meetings. I would never attend those meetings. Be a great place to do some target practice, but just kidding. Like I said, even that probably wouldn't end up. Even those type of people would be very difficult to accept having to take their life or shoot them. It is a very violent and traumatic thing to do to yourself, to witness that, be a part of that, and to be the cause of that. So I very rarely ever see myself in the future really actually shooting somebody ever again, unless it was defense of my family or my country. But saying this Spanish guy shot up all these people. Okay, white supremacist, because that's the story. Every single mass shooting or every black on white crime that happened, completely avoided by the news. Anything involving a white person shooting somebody, now to include Spanish people, all of them white supremacists. We're gonna ignore all black on black crime. We're gonna ignore all black on white crime. Ignore all brown on white crime. Even brown on white or white on brown crime. Don't even hear about that. I don't know if it happens often or on that type of scale, but I don't recall ever hearing anything about that. I don't know why we're leaving, the Spanish or Latin community out of all of this. Always seems to be mostly about black and white. I don't know why they're trying to push that either. Majority of, Senate, from what I've seen, is primarily Caucasian. Or it would appear that way anyways. But there's still half of them trying to push the agenda that all white people are racist. It seems like a reverse sympathy thing. Like, a white guy coming up is like, all white people are racist, they treat you bad, that's wrong. I have your back, vote for me. And then we're over here, we're like, we're not racist. And then they're like, yeah, you are. That dude said you were. Like, I heard. He said you were. And so that means you're a racist. That doesn't make any sense. Whole fucking government right now. It doesn't make any sense. All the people standing up for your rights. Everybody's calling a Nazi, fascist, fucking racist, whatever. And then all the people trying to take your rights away, you guys are flocking to, believing, and supporting, and voting for. Even in this last election, this last one or the one before, no, I'm sorry, the one before it, Trump and Hillary. I think it was the leader of the Black Panther Party. He even stood up and said, don't vote Democrat. They don't mean shit to you. They don't care. They've done nothing for the black community. As much as they like to preach about it, they do nothing. All throughout their campaign, they say, you've got our support, you got our support, you got our support. And then they make it in, they get elected into the office, and then they're, call them up and no response. Sorry. I was like, oh yeah, we'll call you back. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, we're going to do those things that we said we were going to do 16 years ago. Just give us a little bit of time. We need, just got over the election, It's dumb. And even they're coming out and acknowledging they're not doing anything for the black community. They use you. They use minorities. They use people. They manipulate people. They twist people to try to control people. And once they get that control over a large group of people and obtain that power from the voters, then they have real power, real control. That is the last election. There's no way it was legitimate. I would even fairly say for either party, for either side. It seems like, obviously in my heart, I know what the fuck happened, but logically, without evidence, proof, facts in front of me to see, I can't tell you exactly what happened. But the way it looks with the evidence that I've heard of, it's most definitely a lot of illegal shit was happening to put Biden in place as president. So, they've got all the control now. They just want to grab more. Please realize this. Understand it. Because it's going to get worse. It's going to get a lot worse. We need heavy change. I'm hoping for, but I don't see another Republican successfully making it to POTUS in the near future. Because now they've got control over that. They know that they can get away with it without repercussions. And so now they're just going to manipulate in every single election. Why not? They can do it. We're not going to say shit about it. And about 1/3 of us that vote are so fucking stupid that we don't believe it. We just say, oh, those are conspiracy theorists, deplorable fascist fucking Nazis. And that's funny. It's not funny. It's very sad. But goddamn. Another fucking shooting of kids. And it seems like such a government thing to do. All of these things are happening. Like, most of them are happening at schools. Okay? The other one was a shopping center. I get that. But why the schools? Because it's the most tragic thing. If it is politically motivated or this is being done on purpose, it's the same target, it's the same agenda, and it's the same narrative, which they think, because they fucked up with the 18-year-old thing. It's terrible that it happened at all, but I mean, if it was a 21-year-old that legally purchased a firearm, I understand that. But for all of these things that continue to happen, all of these tragic things continue to happen to children, it's too much of a trend, too much of a pattern. Okay, when you have various different types of people from different areas committing the same exact crime, that's called sort of a pattern. If you suspect that a serial killer is doing, killing a redhead born in 1989 and with green eyes in, Texas, Tennessee, Arkansas, New York, Maine, Chicago, Florida, gets caught in Florida. Okay, those are the same things. That's called a pattern. Okay, you would identify that with the same person committing an identical crime in several different places. The only thing changing is location. It's the same guy, the same very specific target, and the same outcome. Finds her, kills her, moves to a different state. Finds her, kills her, moves to a different state. Like I said, a pattern. There's too much of a pattern here for it to be unrelated at this point. It doesn't make any sense. Why are all these separate, different, unique individuals that are fucked up in the head targeting the same exact genre or same type of target as each other. These people aren't talking to each other. I don't think there's like a fucking psychopath anonymous where these people are meeting and like, hey, you know what, let's spread up and on this day and time we're gonna shoot up a bunch of kids. Like, doesn't make any sense. It's a very specific target, very specific victims in different areas committed by different people. There is something linking those together. The only thing that I could think of was these crazy conspiracy people. I mean, there's a lot of those crazy conspiracy theories out there. And the conspiracy theories are only conspiracy theories until they come true. So, you know, you can say what they want. You can't prove or disprove them. Well, you can and can, but it's very difficult to, when you don't understand, you don't know the factor, you don't see it actually happening. You didn't see it happen. You know, the whole dome over the earth thing, you know, there's so much speculation because now it comes to the point where I can unbiasedly say, you know what, maybe there's some truth to this, maybe there's not as much as that I need to know. Maybe I don't have all of the information to make the decision for myself to know if the world is covered in a dome and if it's flat or not. To be honest, like, I'm not a flat earther at all, but there's more and more evidence coming out, not about so much the flat earth thing, but the dome thing. You keep seeing evidence online. You don't really know what to believe anymore. At this point, I've seen enough to question what I believe in a little bit. I can open my mind to the idea, and without more information, I can't make a decision. Problem solving is the same fucking way. Unless you understand what's going wrong, you can't fix the problem. Okay, if you come up with a solution that has nothing to do with the problem, it's not going to fix the problem. Unless you're in control of the problem, you get what you wanted, you get the gun reform laws, you get the control over the people and their guns, you take them all away, whatever you want to do, and all of a sudden you stop having mass shootings. You stop having these crazy fucking kids go out and shoot up schools. That makes sense to me, okay? I wouldn't know until I see it happen, or if that does in fact happen. These things do happen in a timely way. Like, we're midterms now or something like that, and like they're gonna start campaigning again, and now, bam, mass shootings, gun reform laws, all this crazy shit being talked about. Yeah, and guess what? They, you know, who knows if they even think that, if that's even a possibility, or even if they think or know that it's a something that they can do. They might just be talking the shit. The NRA is super powerful. The people are super powerful. With those of us that are left making moral decisions and actually still, voting on it, individuals and laws, super important to vote. But you can't expect them to think that they can overpower and take such great rights away. Maybe they can, maybe they will. I hope not. Maybe they're just using it for a political campaign. The far worse have been done before. And it's sickening that there's all of this loss of life just to keep old fucking crusty dudes in the Senate, in the White House, in Congress, all these places. These, fucking Nancy Pelosi looks like a goddamn skeleton with the fucking skin suit on. Like, how long does this bitch need to be in office? How long does this lady need to be? I don't think she can fucking drive to church on her own. And she's sitting here running the fucking country. Like, things need to change. We need to fix some shit. And it needs to happen fast. This gun control shit, though, too far. Too fucking far. Again, too far.